So this is an app that we've developed in partnership, as you say, with Glaucoma UK and also with Allergan, which is an AbbVie company. And the reason we developed this app is to try to improve the kind of information that we give to people with glaucoma and the families of people with glaucoma as well. What we found in the past is that the kind of information that you give to people with glaucoma and generally patients with eye disease anyway is really quite poor. And it's poor for at least 2 or 3 reasons, really. First of all, the information that the kind of language that's used in the kind of leaflet that you might give to a patient, an information leaflet, is always very complicated. The language is complex, and then there's lots of technical terms as well. So in the past, I've seen leaflets where they've used terms like the lamina cribrosa, the trabecular meshwork, which are important kind of clinical terms when it comes to glaucoma, but certainly not something that you really need to know as a patient. And then the second problem is the complexity of the diagrams and the figures that are often used. You know, when we talk about eye disease, you immediately see like a cross-sectional picture of an eye, the kind of thing that you'd see in a biology textbook. And this is all too complicated for the average kind of person to understand. And then the third problem with the material is that often the focus for glaucoma is often on the kind of fear of blindness. We know that glaucoma, you know, the risk of glaucoma is blindness, but for many patients who are treated, you know, they're not going to lose vision in their lifetime. And the other thing is that often the images that are used, the imagery to kind of suggest what it looks like for a patient with glaucoma is quite wrong. Often, you know, we suggest that patients have got black patches in their field of view, or, you know, they have glaucoma such that they've got tunnel vision, or they're living inside a tunnel. And we know from our research that this is not what glaucoma looks like to patients. Glaucoma is, we call it asymptomatic, which is just a posh, complicated word for saying that it's that it has no symptoms and that you lose parts of your vision. So that's a rather long answer, but what we try to do is try to incorporate all of this information into some new patient information that was developed by UK Glaucoma in conjunction with Allergan. And the idea is to develop this in the form of an app that could ideally be used on an iPad and also on an iPhone. And we try to make the information simple, easy to read, and also key to the Glaucoma in Perspective app is this idea of showing how glaucoma actually affects vision in the form of a series of videos and a demonstrator. So the original idea was a few years ago, actually. The original idea originated in our lab, and mainly because of the work that we've done. We published a paper to show that patients reject this idea that if you have glaucoma, that you have this kind of black patches in your field of view or this tunnel vision. We actually did a research paper with patients to show that they completely reject this idea. Patients' vision, the effects of glaucoma on patients' visual function is often much more subtle, certainly in the early stages of the disease. So this was a project that we did, and we thought, wouldn't it be nice to try and get this information to patients? So then we came up with this idea of developing an app for an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device. And fortunately, we were supported by Allergan to develop that app. So the app is available in the UK now. So it's free and available on the App Store. So it's also on Google Play, Android, and all the other kind of platforms. And as I mentioned, the app is really designed for the iPad, really, because of the size. And the key aspects to it is to provide simple information about how the condition works and how effective treatment can be. It's also got like a series of diagrams that help to advise patients about adherence to drops. And then the unique aspect is this idea that you can do a demonstration of what it's like to have visual field loss. Visual field loss is the visual function consequence of glaucoma. And what we've done is we've built in a series of demonstrations and videos that allow you to kind of see what it looks like, what the world looks like through the eyes of a patient with glaucoma. So the original app was launched about 4 years ago, and then through some kind of different reasons, really, the app wasn't available. So the reason Allergan got involved is an opportunity to relaunch the app, and in particular, the app will kind of allow you to kind of get a feel for what glaucoma is about. And the idea is that apart from the UK, then I think the long-term plan is to sort of launch it beyond the UK as well, in Europe and in other countries. We've already had some nice reactions from patients. Glaucoma UK, which is an outstanding UK charity for glaucoma patients, have also expressed, you know, how pleased they are with the material. And we've also run it by many of our clinical collaborators as well. So we didn't just kind of you know, devise this and think that, you know, this is the perfect kind of information. We actually showed it to clinicians and patients as well, and all of their reactions were quite positive. The only thing I'd like to add, I think if this is being sort of part of Glaucoma Week, is to make this point that although we want to raise awareness about glaucoma as an eye condition, the problem with raising the awareness of glaucoma as an eye condition is, as this audience knows, is that the condition is asymptomatic, that you don't have any symptoms. And this is something that's an important part of the app, that we kind of make the point that even though, you know, you may not notice any problems with your vision, this kind of insidious kind of condition, this glaucoma condition, can still be affecting you. So that's a very sort of clumsy way of saying that the only way you can really detect if you've got this condition is to go to your community optometrist, or as we call them, optician, you know, every 2 years, to make sure that you have your eyes checked, not just for glaucoma, but for you know, all the other conditions that that can affect your eyes as well.